Hello guys, I have a very interesting video today to show you something with priority on CPU, and does it really increase FPS or does it decrease or it does nothing. So today we're gonna see and do some benchmarks and see if this is true or it's false. Is this really working or not? And today we're gonna do some benchmarks on some games and some programs like video editor programs and see their export time, or as others say, the rendering time. So for those who don't know what this high priority means, so the one that you put high priority in this process, it doesn't affect the processor speed, it doesn't increase it, it doesn't decrease it, it's just making a higher priority and goes more CPU resources in your program that you chose with a high priority. That's all it does, and we will see what happens. So on Apex Legends, we can see here on normal priority, average frame rate it is 47, and on 1% low frame rate is 32, and 0.1% it's 28 FPS. And now we switched on the high priority, it's exactly the same map, exactly the same resolution, everything exactly the same. And the average, as you can see, it's a little bit better, is 2 FPS more, and on 1% it's almost the same, and 0.1 is 1% a little bit more. So as you can see here is about 2 FPS something improved, but it's still improved. As we can see here, I'm not that CPU limited in this game, so I think that is the problem here. That's why we don't see that much. I was more GPU limited here more than CPU limited, and I think that's the why I don't see that much improvement. And now for the next game on League of Legends, as you can see here on League of Legends benchmark, the average is improved again, the 1% is again improved, and 0.1% is again improved. So overall, again, there is an improvement. It's not that much, but again, it is. Again, I didn't see my CPU run really hard in this game. It's not that CPU limited. I was not that much, but I was more like GPU limited. And now here on the CS2, on Counter-Strike 2, the average it was more 10 FPS more on high priority, and on 1% again it's better, and 0.1% again it's better. So but as we can see here on 0.1% and 0.1% on high, normal versus high, as you can see on 0.1 low frame rate, I had 4 FPS. And I did a bunch of times and it's still the same results. And as you can see on high, it was 34, which is a lot more, 30 more FPS on 0.1 low frame rate. And now for the Valorant, as we can see here, CPU limited. In this game, that's why I see a lot more of improvement right here. And now if we go to Valorant, again, I was highly CPU limited in this game as well. As you can see on average, here about 20 FPS more. On 1%, we have 30 FPS more FPS, and on 0.1%, as you can see, it's almost the same. I don't know why that happened, but again, on 1%, we can see a lot of improvement, and on average, FPS. But on Valorant I had some stuttering, but then it was a lot less happening. On high priority, definitely it was a lot better. And then if we go to the Fortnite, on average it was again a huge improvement. On 1% it was again improvement, and at 0.1% it's again an improvement. As we can see, for now all these tests, as we can see, it's all improved. It didn't decrease anything. And now for one more game on normal priority for the Assassin's Creed Syndicate, again on average it's almost the same. On 1% it's a little bit better, and 0.1% it's again a little bit better. I was here more GPU bound, I wasn't really that much CPU bound here, CPU limited. And now we go to export to video editors. As we can see here on normal 1080p 60 fps export, it was 2 minutes and 23 seconds, and on exporting on high it was 2 minutes and 13 seconds, which is 10 seconds faster. And here on DaVinci Resolve, again 2 minutes on normal, and Resolve again on high it was 5 seconds faster. And on iMovie we can see basically on normal and high is the same on normal and high. So as you can see, overall all the improvements of this high priority, as we can see on my computer here, we can really see it improved. It definitely only improved, it didn't decrease or something like that. It definitely improved. In some games like 30 FPS more. And I have a PC that's between something like mid to low range. The CPU is i5 3570 and the GPU is R7 240, but it's a little bit overclocked, so it's still on the low to mid, more on the low side of the spectrum of the PC. I have 12 gigabytes of RAM. Now for some PCs, if you are not that much CPU limited, as we saw in the Apex Legends, we didn't see that much improvement because I was not that much limited on the CPU, I was more limited to the GPU, so that's why you will not see that much improvement. So if you have a really low-end CPU, I suggest you to try and do this high priority and see how it works for you. And if you have a good CPU, maybe it's not that much, as you can see here on Apex Legends and on League of Legends. So the worse your CPU is, the better this will be. So if it's better, if your CPU is really good, then it will not make that much difference, this setting. And that's it. As you can see, that's my benchmarks that I did on my PC. And if you enjoy this kind of content and you want more like this, benchmarks like this, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. It takes a lot of time to do this because you have to measure them and all of that stuff. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.